This next comedian is fabulous. I'm so glad she was able to make it here this evening. Her writing has been featured in the New York Times, and that is really special. And she's also been on NPR's Fresh Air with Terry Gross. Ladies and gentlemen, ZAHRA NOORBAKHSH.
Hello, hello. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I did this for you, Annette. This right here. Boom. Boom.
Sisters in tech.
My name is Zahra. I am a feminist Muslim Iranian American comedian. Good to be here. And yeah, it's a good time to be Iranian. Good time to be Muslim. Good time to be a feminist. It's, you know, all three. Just good time to be an American. The United States is basically the Middle East right now. It's kind of surreal. It's a little bit. I feel like there needs to be just like more Persian dance parties so that we could show you how you rock out and party in the end of the world. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh. 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 It's bad. It's really bad. I remember when the election results were happening. Also, do you guys remember when all of us almost left our houses and went to war? Do you remember that? Like, I almost went to war, okay, in my yard. Like, we were like, do you remember when Sunset Boulevard was boarded up? It was boarded up on election day, like, oh yeah, 2 weeks ago. It was like 2 weeks ago. What, 3 weeks? Maybe 3? I don't know. What's time? It's 2020 still. Oh my God. Like, I literally went from like, I'll smash this bottle of wine open and cut somebody in the jugular to, oh, I could drink the wine? I could just drink the wine. I'm going to just drink the wine. Okay. Like, I feel like basically all of the United States, like 60, what is it? No, 72 million? I don't know. What the fuck are the numbers? 75 million people in the United States were like, holy shit, I might have to fuck somebody up. Or Netflix and dissociate for another 3 weeks. And then, like, what is it? Like 69 million people? 69 million people were like, I don't know, I want to try dying in the street. I just want to try it. I want to try civil war in the United States. I just want to try it. Like, I don't even, and as an Iranian, it's just surreal. It's surreal because there is only one time that you have civil war in a country, and it's when every other country in the entire world wants you to collapse. That's when that happens. Every other country in the entire world just goes, what's happening over there? And we don't really change all that much from kindergarten. I taught kindergarten for 10 years. Anybody else? It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot because all of us are basically in kindergarten all of the time. It's really not that different. Like, you're going to do your cut and paste, or you're going to piss your pants and have a bad day. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty similar. You're going to, like, you know, yank Sally's piggy tails and say you didn't. You know what I mean? It's not that different. And the same thing that happens in kindergarten when, like, one kid is having, like, a rough time, all the other kids just, like, kind of pull back and are like, that's not me, and I'm sorry that's happening to you. This is kind of like, I feel like what's happening with the United States right now, where everybody else is just kind of like, what's going on for you? And like, it starts to creep, you know what I mean? It starts to creep, and it gets like, is this like a global thing? But I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't really buy it. I don't buy it. Like, even just even the 69 million dumb shits that exist in the US, like, how much did Facebook have to lie to score those points? You know what I mean? How hard did they have to work to be like, sign up with the devil, it's great? You know what I mean? Like, they had to dedicate 4 damn years to just lying, just like straight up selling their souls to the devil and Mitch McConnell to just even try. So when they're like, we've got 70 million, I'm like, you know, as soon as they find out the Earth's not flat, and that's not hard. I mean, we'll all get in a boat, which we can't in COVID. I mean, you know, we'll Magellan it at some point without the murder, and they'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But the distance between like the Earth is flat, and I'm sure about that, and like war, civil war, that distance shrinking in the US is very kindergarten. I guess what I'm saying is, the United States is basically going to kindergarten in a diaper, and we're getting checked on that. We're being sent home. That's me. That's me on foreign policy. You're welcome. That's my take on foreign policy. It's exciting to walk around as a professional Iranian Muslim feminist in the world, because people just think that you're smart just because, you know, like, it just, I just walk around with foreign policy information. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not Muslim smart. Like, I feel like to be Muslim smart is just like, you know, colonial PhD in like colonial theory, PhD in feminism, PhD in like tough shit. And I'm more like, you know, what can I get away with smart? That's really more. I feel like that's the comics smart. You know what I mean? I have a white husband. I own a white man by marriage. I'm very, very happy with him. He's adequate. He's divinely adequate. I'm so grateful that he's not a confident white boy. Have you seen confidence in a white man? It's unbecoming. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's not a good look. Confidence in a white man is just, you know, just jizz on the walls of the White House of the world. Goodbye, Antarctica. You know, confidence. You know, and the fall of a confident white man is just like Game of Thrones. I'm gonna take everybody. COVID tits. It's just like hell. But when an adequate white boy falls, you know, he just like goes and opens up a brewery, moves to Sonoma, builds a sustainable garden. Okay. I have an adequate white man, and I have to train him. You have to train your adequate white man. You know, you have to say, hey boy, hey, what do you do when it's time to step up? You step back, you step back, you step back. It's a lot of work. No, you don't get a treat every time, but good job. You have to say good job. Oh my God. Good job. Duncan, his name is Duncan. How white is that? Duncan.
Right. That's white.
So white. So white. He's translucent white. He sat in front of the blinds and he got a vertical stripe sunburn across his face. That's how white he is. Debbie White, right there. That's the sunburn Debbie gets. She's like nodding right now. Yep. put on that sunscreen. Man, pandemic, extroversion, like I am an extrovert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And introverts, I really don't care because you're not going to tell me anyway. And that's the best thing about you. Yay. And that's my contribution to that conversation. My husband is an introvert. What are his needs? It doesn't matter. You know, like 6 months later, he's going to walk out the door. I'm going to say, think about it. And he will for another 6 months. I don't have to worry about it. That's just, and we've been doing this for 17 years. It's just, you know, just keep the conversation going. So he's going to write about it. There'll be a novel at some point, and then, you know.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I am in charge of the Netflix queue. That's how that works. We are watching Schitt's Creek seasons 1 through 6 again. I don't even know what kind of music he likes. It's a beautiful relationship. As far as I know, he is a huge fan of Kesha and Britney circa early 2000s. You know, and that's love. And if it's different, I'm not going to hear about it, so that's fine. So I guess in my relationship, I'm a little bit used to our systems of democracy here in the United States. Actually, that's not true. I take that back. The United States, there's really no excuse for how bad love is in the United States. Like the change that needs to happen in the United States, I mean, people have syllabuses ready. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hi, knock, knock, knock. This is my plan for reform in the U.S. I also have an alternative plan if you don't like that one. And if you want to have a conversation about how we can't have conversations, here's a list of books and then also people you can consult with about that, and another syllabus if you don't like the 2 that I just gave you. And if you don't like any of them, then we can have a conversation, you know, with just a couple people like these people or these people. Or I remember you mentioned binders. You like those? There's no excuse. Right? I don't have like a joke here yet, even though it's almost my closer. Just have a series of observations. I read a lot of books, as evidenced behind me in my fake wall, and I have opinions about them. I grew up different than my husband because I had expectations on me. He didn't really have, nobody raises a white boy, you know what I mean? They just kind of shove him into the world and say, like, at some point somebody's gonna say no and you'll figure it out, you know? Like, that's how white men are raised. I brought home my first report card when I was a kid. I got an A-. I mean, the Iranians are hiding appropriately. You just don't do that. My dad was like, what the shit the hell is this? And that's all he said, but with immigrant telepathy. I heard him. We did not escape a revolution and swim the Atlantic Ocean and kiss the feet of the Statue of Liberty for you to get an A- in algebra? Are people invented algebra? You infidel! But all he said was, what the shit the hell is this, ZAHRA? So I went and I studied and I brought home the A, and he said, what the shit the hell is this, ZAHRA? An A? Well, and then A+. So I went and I studied and I brought home the A+, and he said, what the shit the hell is this, ZAHRA? An A+? Why'd you take such an easy class?
Oh my God.
And that's my time, folks. My name is Balls. Sometimes Zahra.
You're amazing, ZAHRA. Thank you.
Thank you, Vahi John. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.